Welcome to another episode of the Riverport Business Podcast. And in this episode, I'm talking to Nick Jones, founder and managing director of Dream Clean Services, about how he built his company from a one-man and a van operation into one of the region's leading professional cleaning services, now running a fleet of vans and a growing team across Cambridgeshire and beyond. Nick, it's great to have you here.
Good morning.
For anybody who doesn't know you, why don't you introduce yourself, tell us who you are and what you do.
I'm Nick Jones. I own Dream Clean Services in partnership with my wife. I've lived in the area 22 years now, so I know the area quite well.
Now, how did you get started in the cleaning industry?
I've always wanted to work for myself, always, even as a child, but always very mindful that as a child and as I grew up, I just wasn't responsible enough to run a business. I wanted the fast cars, the beer, the girls. Mm-hmm. And when I met Wendy, it was a case of, right, I'm ready to settle down. And I was in the fortunate position of being at RAF Brampton, working as a contracts manager for the housing married quarters. And at weekends, I used to clean the quarters on the quiet, and on the Monday morning they'd come in, they go, oh, what a beautiful clean, who did that? And I said, oh, new subby I'm using. And I sort of saw an open in the market then, in the case of, look, I've got the clearances to work behind the wire. I'd be foolish not to take this. I'm not qualified in anything else, so I can't. I'm not a qualified mechanic. I'm not very good with computers. I'm not an A-level student, so it was a case of, I've got good sales patter. I've got a bit of a business head on me. I can clean. Let's do it. So that's what I did.
So where did the name Dream Clean come from? Did it take a long time to think up?
It didn't. And it was a Eureka moment for Wendy, my wife Wendy. So we agreed to start the business, and it was a case of what should we call it? And I'd always had in my mind that whatever business you start, put the description of what you do in the name of it. So wherever you put livery, straight away people know what you do. So Wendy was in the bath and she'd heard on the telly the Dreams Beds advert. She came running out the bath, cut her leg from shaving her leg, and went, Dream Clean, let's do it. And do you know what? She was right.
Yeah, and the vans are all over. We see them all over the place. And when you first started out, what were the biggest challenges?
Time and enthusiasm. I was enthusiastic enough, I would work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, because orders were coming in. I was on such a roll and a buzz, and my enthusiasm probably was a challenge to try and rein it in. Come on, you need to go to bed and have a good 8 hours sleep. Mm-hmm. No, you don't need to work on a Sunday. Come on. So that was quite a challenge, my enthusiasm.
You obviously had RAF Brampton as your first sort of client. Mm-hmm. How did you go about building a portfolio of clients? Did you have a marketing plan, or was it just word of mouth?
No, it wasn't. Yet again, typical me, and my wife would probably say that, it's off the hip. I cleaned every house in Brampton within an inch of its life, and people talk. So the housing officer for DHE, Defence Housing Estates, said to one of the other housing officers one day, I got a cracking cleaner, you'd be worth giving him a go on your site. And they soon got around, the word soon got around. And I would say probably within 6 months, I had 6 sites where they were very enthusiastic to use Nick Jones.
That sort of answered my next question in a way. What do you think has been the key to growing from a one-man band and one van into a company with lots of employees and lots of vans now? How is that?
The key for me is good exposure in the area and positive. Solve the problems of the clients. When the client rings up and goes, oh, I need this doing, whether you can do it or not, just say yes. Yep, we can do that. And of course, I was always the go-to then, and I'm still known as the go-to. Nick will sort it. Even companies that don't really use us, that ring me, that sort of know about me, they ring up and go, oh, Nick, we have a cleaning company, but I've got a problem here, can you help? Yeah, I can get that sorted.
One of the things that will hit everybody starting a business in the same way that you have is you start it, you're proud of your business, it's your name that's representing the business. How can you maintain the quality as your company grows and you get more employees?
I will never be far from the rock face, as I call it. So I will randomly pull up anywhere and inspect a clean. So the good people that work for me will be looking over their shoulder going, the boss will turn up. He will arrive. I'll make a plight at 5 o'clock in the morning on my way in to check a clean.
Basically, random spot checks on, to maintain the quality and maintain your good name, essentially.
Yeah.
And you offer quite a wide range of services. I've seen more recently you've been doing some more interesting things.
So with regards to cleaning, let's start at home. I can clean your cooker, can clean your carpets. We'll shy away from upholstery. There are some areas that you look and go, do you know what, it's too high risk. We'll clean your home on a regular clean, we'll clean your office. We'll clean the communal stairs that you might walk past. We'll clean the local toilets that you might use, public toilets. We'll clean the shop that you go in. And then we'll clean your next new home. We'll clean the home that you've exited. So we'll do an end of tenancy clean. We'll do a new build clean. And we'll move on to warehouses, whether it be high level, low level, exterior, floor scrubbing. I've got some specialists in the business that will do something of everything.
So you don't actually have one area of speciality particularly, but you can offer specialised services in one area if you need to concentrate on that.
Yeah, we do, and we do that. Sometimes it creates a bit of stability in your turnover and cash flow, because with cleaning, when there's a recession, when the economy is low, domestic cleaning drops off. People look at it as a privilege or a luxury to have, and when the mortgage rate starts going up and up, they go, well, we'll have to get rid of the cleaners. Well, I still have jobs or I still have employees to pay. So then you start looking at other areas like building sites or housing associations or government funded, some of the government funded works where there will always be employment.
So is there any seasonal element to the work that you do?
The external works tend to be seasonal, window cleaning, etc. High level cleaning, this time of year when it's windy and showers, it's not so easy. So you tend to sort of say, look, let's leave it till the spring and we'll start in the spring.
If you're taking that into a bigger area, industrial areas, is there a sort of specific investment that you have to make in equipment, chemicals and that sort of thing?
Yeah, there would be. If you chose to go down what we would call a niche market, yeah, there would be. You might choose to do high-level cleaning with water-fed pole systems, etc. You might choose to just do floor scrubbing for warehouses all day, every day. You might choose to do floor scrubbing. Well, then you need to invest in that. Well, we don't so much. We do a few of them. We hire in the equipment. I tend not to buy or invest in equipment. I tend to hire equipment as and when I need it. And then if I don't need it so much, it's not so seasonal, push it back to the hire company.
And I guess another factor of having employees is you're going to have to train them.
Yeah.
To get up to your standard.
Yeah, you can find, there are people out there that are experienced, certainly working on the building sites with the CSCS card. If they've got a CSCS card, then employ them, get them on board. All that training is all done and they're ready to go.
And you touched on the fact that you're dealing with larger clients, larger buildings. Does that involve tenders?
The ones I've got, no. It's a case of following the facilities manager. So the facilities manager that I may have met 12 years ago that I helped support, when he moves to a new company, he then introduces you, gets you through the pre-qualifying questionnaire, which is invariably about your business, your health and safety, etc., and on from there. But the actual tender side, no, we tend to shy away from that.
So if you're quoting for sort of domestic type work, you will go in with a quote of some description and people will take that or not based on, I'm assuming, it might go to other companies.
Yeah.
So that's fairly straightforward. But if you're quoting not through a tender, but just quoting for commercial work, factories, office cleans, that sort of thing, do you find that bidding process that you have to go through, do you have to have a different mindset for that than you would do if you're quoting for domestic work?
Tenders invariably come for more government-based work. So if I was to tender for cleaning all the council offices in Cambridge, I would have to go through a tender process. If I was quoting for clean the Amazon warehouse floor, if I know the facilities manager and I can get onto their supply chain, that's pretty much it. It's almost back to the same of tendering for or quoting for someone's domestic cleaning. I've submitted my quotation. This is what I'll do in that quotation. They'll compare it with another one and go, yeah, that's fine. So there aren't the awkward questions that you get asked on a tender pack for the council.
And it's the same old thing for anybody that you know. Once you've done that first job, people know how you work, what you deliver, and how well you deliver it, and to a price point. And what sort of team do you have at Dream Clean? Are there particular types of people that you look for? Do you advertise for them, or are they people that have sort of come recommended from other people that work for you?
We're in the beautiful position. We have a good retention of staff. So I've recruited people that have been with me 10 years, 8 years, 7 years. And in the cleaning industry, that's really good. Nobody leaves school to say, when I grow up, I'm going to be a cleaner. So they don't make it, it's not a career choice. It's a necessity to put food on the table. We are very fortunate that we've got some great people amongst us. Is there a type? Yeah, a can do. Yeah, we can do that. That's my mindset. That's my ethic. That's my moral. And if you come in with I can do that. They all have different quirks and personalities, irritations, just like anyone would. But that's what makes the character of the company.
Because I think this is true of other people I've spoken to, is that when you start recruiting, you're looking for people that do have that similar mindset. It's not their business, and they don't have a vested interest in long-term gain from the business. They're just earning. They're just earning their salary. But you're looking for that same type of character that you can go to and say, I've been asked to do a job, but we need to work all weekend to get this done.
Yes, boss, where is it?
Exactly.
And that's what we like.
It comes from the top.
Yeah. It doesn't necessarily have to be the best cleaner in the world. You can teach them that. You can show them that. You show them your expectations and give them a platform to follow. But you can't change a can-do attitude.
And reputation is a big thing for any business. How do you value or curate your online reviews that you get?
Yeah, we do. We encourage online reviews, and we sometimes have little competitions with the employees. And we say to the employees, right, off you go and get your reviews. And whoever comes back with the best review or the amount of reviews, we'll have a little prize for you. But go and let the customer talk about you. Because, some of these guys, they probably visit 25, 30 customers a week. So they're going to get some sort of feedback. Some can be negative, but more often than not, they're positive reviews.
I think that is part of, when something does go wrong or somebody's not happy, it's more about how you deal with that. Because I think that's only that time is when you see how a company really behaves in the real world.
Agreed.
Stuff goes wrong all the time, but how whoever runs the company deals with it makes you not go away. You'll come back because they dealt with it properly. So reputation, it's a big thing. What about social media? Is that something that you've embraced?
Yeah, I do social media myself. I wouldn't say I do it fantastic. I enjoy it. It's something I actually quite enjoy. I enjoy the engagement. I do wish I was probably 15, 20 years younger and probably know how to use the Instagrams, etc., a bit better than I do. It is quite important in the area. When I had my dog Boris, I used to put him all over Facebook, all over. And we were out at the carnival one day, had a stall there, and everybody wanted to come and meet Boris. So I knew it worked just by the number of people that wanted to come and see my dog.
Cleaning implies chemicals. Is that something that you have to consider in terms of being eco-friendly?
Yeah, there's a fine line. Very eco-friendly chemicals aren't strong enough for some of the projects that we come up against. The management of what you do with the chemicals at that point when you're using the strongest is very important for the environment, which we do we're quite strong with that, how we dispose of those chemicals. But we've got a great chemical supplier that has given us the middle of the road style chemical.
What's next for Dream Clean? Are you planning any more expansions? What's your growth plan?
We're just about to order a new van. When I very first started, I vowed I would put a new van per year. That was my sales target. No numbers, a van per year. And we're just about to start year 21. December the 4th is year 21. And that's when the new van will arrive.
If somebody was thinking of starting a business, not necessarily a business to compete with yours, but just starting out in business, what advice do you think you could give them that might help them along the way?
Be prepared to put some of the most important things in your life on the back burner. To make it work, you've got to throw 150% of your time, your energy, and your love. But you will get to the point that you'll be able to change the ratios. So providing you've got a patient family, be prepared to put things on the back burner, you'll do it.
Nick, it's been fantastic talking to you, and thank you for sharing your insights on how to build not only a business, but a professional cleaning business.
Can I drink the water now?
You can drink the water, you can eat the fruit.
No, I've seen that.
Thanks, Nick, it's been fantastic.
No worries.
Many thanks to Nick for joining me and sharing his journey. It really is a great example of what can be achieved with hard work, smart planning, and a clear vision for growth. And you can find out more about Dream Clean Services at dreamcleanservices.co.uk and follow their latest projects on social media. All the links are below in the video description. And if you enjoyed this conversation, don't forget to like and subscribe for more inspiring stories here on the Riverport Business Podcast.